Wait, you knew my wedding was coming up and you still went and got into an accident? What the hell is that? Are you serious? You couldn't be careful? Was it on purpose or something? You're not coming to my wedding now? So what? You're not happy for me or something?
Huh? What are you talking about? I didn't plan on having an accident, and you know I didn't want this to happen, right? I mean, no one ever expects to get into an accident. I definitely didn't. I really wanted to be at your wedding, but right now, even sending you this message is a struggle for me. I'm really sorry.
Oh, please, don't give me that. You're lying, aren't you? You're just jealous because I'm the first one of our group to get married, aren't you? I thought you were my best friend. Is this how you show it, by trying to avoid giving me a wedding gift or showing up to support me? I can't believe you'd stoop this low.
Jealous? No way! I'm really not! And I'd never avoid giving you a gift or showing up for your big day, I swear! I really did prepare everything. I even had my dress ready. I was looking forward to attending your wedding, but this accident... I can't help that it happened. I'm sorry. I promise I'll find a way to celebrate with you later, even if I can't make it to the ceremony. I'll give you the gift, I promise.
Yeah, I heard you're in a wheelchair because of the accident, but that's no excuse. You knew how important this was for me. How can you skip out on my wedding, the most important day of my life? You're the one who's supposed to be at the reception desk, too. Are you seriously going to flake on that responsibility, too?
I really didn't want this to happen. I know it's a huge inconvenience. And I feel terrible about not being able to help with the reception. But please, can you find someone else to cover for me? I hate asking you this, but I can't do it.
You're kidding, right? Do you have any idea how stressful a wedding is? And now on top of everything, I have to deal with this last-minute problem. This is seriously the worst. There is no way I can just find someone else at this point. You're putting me in a terrible position by bailing at the last second. If you don't show up, we're done as friends. I'm cutting ties with you. This is it.
Juliet, can't you try to see things from my side for just a moment? I'm not doing this on purpose. It's just this accident really caught me off guard.
See things from your side? Are you serious right now? You're the one who isn't thinking about my situation. You're going to embarrass me by not showing up. Do you have any idea how bad it looks when someone in charge of something as important as the reception desk cancels last minute? People will think I have the worst friends ever, and if you don't show up, I am going to make sure everyone knows all of your embarrassing secrets. Remember how you used to like that guy? Well, guess what? He actually liked me all along. He told me everything, but you had no idea. You were there acting all happy for me, pretending you were fine when we started dating. Oh, and that's not even the worst of it. There's plenty more I can tell everyone about your embarrassing past.
Juliet, this is blackmail.
Oh, did I forget to mention? Remember that senior you had a crush on back in the day? Well, turns out he's going to be at my wedding too. He's my fiancé's junior from college. Isn't that funny?
What? No way. Davis? He's going to be there?
Yep, and if you don't show up, I'll make sure he knows all the pathetic details about your little crush on him. And let's be honest, if you're really the kind of friend who won't even bother showing up to my wedding, then I don't see why I should keep any of your embarrassing stories to myself. I'm not afraid to spill the tea, so you'd better get your act together.
I see. If it's come to this, then I guess there's nothing I can do.
Remember how we all encouraged you to confess your feelings to him? But you got so nervous that you ended up with a stomachache and had to hide in the bathroom. You couldn't even come out. You completely bailed on the whole thing. I was dying trying to keep a straight face while you panicked.
You really thought that was funny? I had no idea you felt that way.
Oh, come on. It's hilarious. And trust me, you don't want that kind of stuff getting out, right? So just show up to the wedding. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. You better be there.
All right, I'll come. Even if I have to bring the wheelchair and my medical equipment, I'll be there. Is that okay with you?
Finally! Took you long enough to come to your senses. I don't care what condition you're in, just be there.
Yeah, okay. I'll be there.
And don't be late, I mean it. You're already on thin ice as it is.
I'll do my best.
Dana, are you seriously going to go to Juliet's wedding like this? How could you? You know it's not safe for you to push yourself this hard. I can't believe it. Juliet told me she's dead set on making sure you attend, but are you really going to go through with this?
Yeah, I guess Juliet told you about it. She really pushed me hard earlier. I tried to explain to her that I can't make it in my condition, but she was so insistent. She said there's no way she could ask anyone else to handle the reception this late and that it would be humiliating if I didn't show up. She made it seem like me not coming would be some kind of disaster for her.
What? Are you serious? That's just unbelievable. Juliet is really being that selfish?
Yeah, I was honestly a little shocked myself. I told her that I'd be in a wheelchair and everything, but she said she didn't care, that I had to show up no matter what. She even said I could crawl in if I had to.
But Dana, in your condition, it's just not realistic. If you go like this, you're only going to stand out in a bad way. Don't you think it's better for everyone if you don't push yourself?
I know. I tried to explain that too. I even told her that I'm not in any shape to wear the dress I bought and that it would probably just cause problems if I showed up. But she didn't care. To her, what matters most is that I'm there. She even said if I don't show up, we're done as friends.
That's just insane. How could she be so unreasonable? And, I've been thinking this for a while, but ever since Juliet's wedding plans got finalized, she's really changed, hasn't she?
Yeah, I've noticed it too. Before, we were always in sync and hanging out with her was fun. But after she got engaged, it feels like she's been looking down on us, doesn't it?
Totally. It's like she's been treating us like pawns in her wedding plans. And now forcing you to come to her wedding despite your situation, it's like she only cares about how things look, not how we actually feel. Does she even think of us as friends anymore, or are we just props to make her big day look perfect?
Yeah, I've been feeling the same way. It's like she's desperate to maintain this perfect image. And I think it's partly because her fiancé is such a high-profile guy, like this perfect elite type. It's almost as if she's trying to make herself seem more important by association, you know?
Exactly. I've been thinking the same thing. It's like she started to look down on me for not having a boyfriend. And don't even get me started on that time when she made that snide comment about my boyfriend not working for a big company. Do you remember? She was like, "Are you sure you're okay with that? As a woman, it's better to snag a man who can provide, right?" I was furious. Who does she think she is telling me that? I don't pick men based on how much money they make.
Yeah, it's like she's become someone else. She was never like this before. And get this, earlier today, she tried to blackmail me. She threatened to spread my embarrassing stories if I didn't show up to the wedding. She actually brought up stuff from years ago to use against me. I mean, I honestly don't care about those things anymore, but the fact that she'd go that far, I was shocked.
Are you serious? She's blackmailing you now? That's just... wow. She really thinks she's something special now that she's marrying into a good family, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But honestly, even if I do end up going to the wedding, I don't think things will go the way she expects.
You know what? I'll talk to her too. This whole thing is ridiculous. Forcing you to come in a wheelchair is just wrong on so many levels. I'm actually meeting her before the wedding to go over some things, so I'll take the opportunity to say something. I'll tell her to cut you some slack and to stop being so unreasonable. You need to take care of yourself.
Really? That would be a huge help. I don't know how else to make her understand. Thanks so much.
Of course, you don't have to deal with this alone. I'll talk to her and set her straight. This is too much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I feel like I've been in over my head with all of this.
You? What the hell did you do? How could you show up at my wedding looking like that? What were you thinking?
What do you mean, what was I thinking? I told you, I'm in a wheelchair now. You knew that already. I even mentioned that I'd have to bring along the necessary medical equipment, right? So none of this should be surprising to you.
But still, this is just too much. You looked like an absolute mess. What was with all that? You came in here with an IV drip hanging off of you. And your head, wrapped in bandages like that. You couldn't even move on your own, and Amy had to push your wheelchair the entire time. And during the reception, you were just sitting there doing nothing. You couldn't even help with anything, could you?
Yes, exactly. I already explained this, didn't I? I told you that coming here would likely be a burden and cause more problems than it would solve. But you still insisted that I come to your wedding. You told me to be there no matter what, even if I had to crawl, remember?
Well, yeah, I did say that, but I didn't expect you to come looking like you just walked out of a hospital. Do you have any idea what people were saying? Everyone's whispering about it behind my back. People are asking me why I even invited someone who's clearly in no condition to attend a wedding. It's embarrassing.
Actually, I already dealt with that. I put up screenshots of our messages for everyone to see. Now, everyone here knows the truth. A lot of the guests are actually really sympathetic toward me. Many of them have come up to me and told me that I should be at home resting instead of coming to this wedding. So it's not the disaster you're making it out to be. Amy helped me with that too. She made sure there was something prepared in case this situation happened. You know, to explain why I showed up like this, in a wheelchair and hooked up to medical equipment.
Wait, what do you mean? You told them about our conversation?
Yeah, I think people understand the situation now. I made it clear that you were fully aware of my condition beforehand. I let them know that I tried to tell you I wouldn't be able to attend, but you wouldn't listen. You insisted that I come to your wedding, even if I had to drag myself here. So yeah, I think that pretty much cleared things up for everyone.
What the hell were you thinking showing everyone those messages?
Look, I'm really not feeling well. I think I pushed myself too hard by coming here.
What are you talking about? What is wrong with you now?
I'm sorry, but I think I need to leave. I tried my best to stay, but it's too much for me. I'm going to rest for a bit and see if I feel any better. If I can't make it back, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated.
Hey, are you okay, Juliet?
I wanted to talk to you when I could, but I still feel weak after what happened today. I'm really sorry for everything earlier.
Yeah, well, after you got taken away by the ambulance, my fiancé called it off. The wedding's been canceled because of everything that happened. I'm sorry for rushing you too hard.
I see. I'm really sorry the wedding got canceled. I didn't want to cause any trouble, but I guess I did, huh?
Listen, I need you to talk to my husband and his family. Can you come out for a bit? Right now, my husband and his family are absolutely furious. They're saying that I forced my seriously injured friend to come to the wedding just for my selfish reasons. And then you ended up in an ambulance. They're calling me reckless and inconsiderate, but we're best friends, right? You wanted to come, didn't you? I need you to explain to them that you came because you wanted to, even if it meant pushing yourself.
What? Are you serious? I didn't want to go at all.
What?
I told you from the start I couldn't make it, remember? I clearly said I wasn't able to attend, but you forced me to come. You even threatened me into it, remember? Amy helped me make a poster with the screenshots of our chat, and we posted it for everyone to see. Everyone already read it. They know exactly what happened. And they saw how I ended up in an ambulance because you pushed me to come. There's no taking that back now.
No, please don't say that. That whole thing was just a joke between us. It wasn't serious. Just tell them you came because you wanted to. That's all you have to do. Just say that and everything will be fine.
So you want me to lie for you? You want me to cover your selfish behavior? Why should I do that? Why should I help someone who forced me into a horrible situation and then asks me to come and clean up their mess? Are you seriously asking me to do this for you? You literally just asked if I could come out and talk to them after I was sent away in an ambulance. You're unbelievable.
But, this is the only way. I'm in so much trouble right now. My fiancé is furious and his family's talking about calling the whole marriage off. If that happens, it'll be your fault. You'll be the one to ruin my marriage.
You can say whatever you want. If you really think that's my fault, you've got bigger problems than just the wedding. You brought all this on yourself, not me. Maybe if you hadn't been so self-centered, things wouldn't have gone this way. But you didn't care about anyone else, and now you're paying the price.
But you don't understand. I was about to marry someone from a top company. A real elite, someone who could make over $100,000 a year. He's a walking success story, and now you're telling me I have to go back to square one? You're telling me my perfect life is ruined? Do you know what this means for me?
That's your problem. If you can only think about your own life and your own gain, then you've got no one else to blame. Honestly, I thought of you as my best friend for a long time. But it turns out you just saw me as a pawn, someone you could manipulate to serve your own needs. I don't owe you anything.
You don't understand. His family is so strict, and I wanted everything to be perfect. I had to make sure nothing went wrong. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I want it to be flawless for him.
Yeah, I get it. You were desperate to be perfect for him. But guess what? People are talking. I heard from Amy how you told her that my situation was just an inconvenience. And that I was going to ruin your big day. Honestly, I already expected something like this from you. But after all that, do you really think I'm going to go out of my way to help you?
Please, don't do this. If you don't help me, I really won't be able to get married. My family's fed up with me too. They're talking about cutting ties with me over this. Look, I'll apologize for forcing you to come. Just help me out here, please. I'll make it right.
No, I'm not going to help you. You've made this mess all on your own. This is what happens when you're so obsessed with your own happiness that you can't even think about how you're treating the people around you. You thought you could push me around and everything would still go your way. But guess what? It doesn't work like that. It's time you faced reality. You're on your own.
Dana, are you okay? Juliet actually came to the hospital to attack you? What happened?
Amy, thank you for reaching out. Yeah, I was just as shocked as you are. First, I was already reeling from the news that I might be seriously ill. And then being told I needed to be hospitalized immediately. That was hard enough to take. But for her to pretend she was coming to visit me only to attack me? I never saw it coming.
She took advantage of the fact that you're at your weakest? That is beyond disgusting. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. Luckily, a nurse happened to be nearby, so things didn't escalate too much. But I really didn't think she'd go that far.
That is some next-level revenge. I can't believe she actually did that. I wish I could rush over to see you right now, but with visiting hours...
No, it's okay. Really, I'm all right now. I screamed when I saw her face, and the nurse rushed in right away, so it all got handled before anything could happen.
I'm relieved nothing serious happened.
The hospital staff immediately called the police, so she didn't get away with it. I imagine by now she's probably being questioned by the police. Her family's definitely been notified too. With everything that's happened, I'm sure her engagement is done for.
Yeah, she's been totally unhinged ever since the wedding fell through. Honestly, she doesn't have a great education or career to begin with, and now with a criminal record? Her life's practically over. It's like she dug her own grave. I'm just glad you're cutting ties with her.
I know, right? The moment I saw her, the way she looked, I couldn't help but scream. She looked like a completely different person, like a demon or something.
She even tried reaching out to me for help, saying she was begging on her knees to her fiancé, asking him to take her back, saying it was impossible for them to break up. But honestly, anyone with a shred of common sense would run far away from someone that selfish and manipulative. Marrying her would have been a disaster for him.
Yeah, I feel bad saying this, but I can't find it in me to feel sorry for her.
Of course not. After everything she's put you through, there's no reason to. You know what she said to me when I refused to help her? She said, "Fine, I'll make sure you feel the same pain. I'll ruin your relationship too. You'll regret this." Can you believe that?
Wow, even now, she's still going down the path of self-destruction. Honestly, I think she only saw her friends as tools to pass the time. The second someone wasn't useful to her, they were just disposable.
Exactly. Friends to her were never about genuine connection or loyalty. They were just convenient, but I have a feeling that one day she'll regret all of this. It might take time, but she'll come to realize the consequences of what she's done.
Yeah, eventually. No one can make it through life entirely on their own. I think when she looks back and realizes she lost everyone she used to rely on, the loneliness will hit her hard. Then maybe she'll understand the weight of her choices.
Right. People like her never realize the value of what they had until it's all gone. When she's alone with nothing but the consequences of her actions, that's when the regret will sink in. And honestly, that's what she deserves.
I never wanted things to turn out like this, but I guess people's true colors come out when they feel cornered.
Yeah, it's sad that it had to end this way, but it's better that you saw her for who she really is. At least you can move on without any guilt or doubt, knowing you did your best.
Yeah, I guess so. Thanks, Amy. I really appreciate your support through all of this.
Of course, I'll always be here for you. Just focus on resting and getting better. Juliet's out of your life for good now, and you deserve peace.
Thanks. I'm really lucky to have you by my side.
Anytime, Dana. We've got each other's backs no matter what.
After returning to the outside world, Juliet sent a message to both Amy and me, apologizing for everything that had happened during the chaotic events that transpired. It was surprising to hear from her, given the gravity of the situation we had all endured. However, having discovered Juliet's true nature regarding the wedding incident, we couldn't bring ourselves to believe her words of apology. Her actions had been so hurtful and deceptive that it felt impossible to trust her again. It was as if her apologies were merely empty words, lacking any sincerity or remorse. We had seen her true colors during that time, and it had left a lasting impression on us. Consequently, we decided to block her phone number, ensuring that she would have no way to reach us. This decision felt necessary for our peace of mind, as we could no longer afford to entertain the possibility of her contacting us again. Blocking her was a way to protect ourselves from any further emotional turmoil. Since that day, neither Amy nor I have any knowledge of what has happened to Juliet. We've both moved on with our lives, trying to leave that painful chapter behind. I often wondered how she was doing, but the pain of her betrayal overshadowed any concern I might have had. The shock of being attacked in the hospital lingered for some time, and I realized I needed to make significant changes to my life to protect myself and find healing. In the aftermath of the traumatic event, I took the step to move to a new place. I wanted to ensure that Juliet would never be able to track me down again, that she wouldn't have the means to invade my life any further. The move was more than just a physical relocation. It represented a new beginning for me. A chance to redefine my life and surround myself with positivity and love. It was essential for my mental health and well-being. I now live with my boyfriend, someone with whom I have begun a relationship with the intent of marriage. His name is Davis, and our connection has blossomed into something truly special. Interestingly, Davis is someone I had feelings for in the past, long before everything with Juliet transpired. He had always been kind and supportive, but at the time, I was unaware of how deep my feelings for him really ran. It wasn't until this recent incident that we reconnected on a more personal level. Davis reached out to me after hearing about what happened. He was genuinely concerned for my well-being, and his compassion was evident in every conversation we had. I found solace in his presence. He offered a listening ear and a shoulder to lean on, which was exactly what I needed during such a turbulent period. Our interactions gradually turned into something more profound as we both realized the potential for a loving relationship. As I spent more time with Davis, I began to see the beauty of having someone who truly cared about me. His unwavering support allowed me to open up about my fears and insecurities. And I felt a sense of comfort I hadn't experienced in a long time. It was refreshing to be around someone who genuinely wanted the best for me, someone who respected my boundaries and encouraged my healing process. I feel incredibly fortunate to have Davis by my side. He understands the challenges I've faced and supports me wholeheartedly. It's comforting to know that I have someone who cares about me deeply and is willing to stand by me as I navigate the aftermath of my experience with Juliet. We are building a life together, one filled with trust, respect, and affection, and it's refreshing to feel that sense of safety again. My health has been steadily improving since the incident. Both the physical and emotional wounds are healing, and I am grateful for the medical treatment I received. The doctors and nurses at the hospital played a crucial role in my recovery, and I have followed through with all the necessary therapies and checkups. Their expertise and kindness made a significant difference in my healing journey. Looking back at everything that transpired, I find myself with mixed feelings about Juliet. Despite the pain she caused, there's a small part of me that feels a hint of gratitude. After all, it was through the turmoil and the chaos that I ended up reconnecting with Davis. It's a strange irony that something so painful led to something beautiful. This experience has taught me a lot about resilience and the importance of surrounding myself with people who genuinely care for my well-being. Now, as I go about my daily life, I find a sense of peace that I hadn't felt in a long time. The days have become more manageable, filled with moments of joy and laughter with Davis. We enjoy exploring new places together, sharing meals, and simply being in each other's company. He brings a lightness to my life that helps to overshadow the dark moments from my past. Davis and I have developed our routines, creating a sense of normalcy amidst the changes. We often cook together, experimenting with new recipes and flavors. It has become a fun bonding activity, allowing us to share our favorite dishes and discover new ones. We also make it a point to spend weekends outdoors, hiking or taking long walks in the park, where we can connect with nature and enjoy each other's company. These moments of simple joy have helped me heal and regain a sense of self. We've also started discussing our future together. The conversations are filled with excitement and hope as we share our dreams and aspirations. It feels incredibly reassuring to know that we're on the same page when it comes to our relationship and what we want out of life. We talk about our goals, where we see ourselves in the coming years, and how we can support each other in achieving them. There's a comfort in having a partner who is not only supportive, but also shares similar values and goals. As I reflect on my journey, I realize how important it is to take care of my mental health. I've been actively working on self-care practices, engaging in activities that bring me joy and fulfillment. Whether it's reading a good book, going for long walks, or indulging in creative pursuits like painting or journaling, I make it a priority to nurture my spirit. It's been a healing process, allowing me to reconnect with myself and what truly makes me happy.